Alright, so a couple weeks ago we had an issue with this AMS unit, and it was spot number one not feeding all the way to the extruder. Actually it fed to the extruder, it just wouldn't get all the way into it. So we did some maintenance and some cleaning and checking, and now that problem has come back in the same spot. However, the Hall unit is now over here. So I do not believe that is going to be one of the Hall units that is causing the issue. I believe it's going to be with the hub inside. So we're going to take that apart and take a look and see. Again, this unit has about 8,000 print hours on it, so it's needing some maintenance. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take this thing apart, and to do that we're going to take apart these, unscrew these two screws back here and pull this up, and then there's two wires back here that come out real easy. Alright, I've gotten these two screws removed. I've checked all of these rollers, top and bottom, and they all seem to be in there, but we'll take a closer look when we get this apart. To take this base unit out, you want to carefully get in here so you don't mangle this Bowden tube, and kind of just lift it up and out. Alright, oops, not like that though. And then tip this up, and then back here you'll see these two wires. You want to kind of carefully pull those out. There we go. Okay, so I have the base taken apart, and inside the case there's quite a bit of filament debris down in the back. So we're going to kind of diagnose that a little bit. And as I took this out, I checked all of the Hall units, and I don't see any signs of debris inside of them. But on the back side, number one, whoops, sorry about the light, number one and number two, that would be number one, that would be number two. There's actually quite a bit of debris built up on the back of that roller. So we're going to clean that up. But while we've got it taken apart, we're going to take apart the hub and make sure that there's nothing all jammed up in there either. And we'll check all the Bowden tubes. Okay, so I've taken all the rollers off, back and front, and checked them. These back ones, pretty much the only thing to them is making sure the bearings are running smoothly. They're plastic and they don't have any real issues. The front, on the other hand, these front feeding rollers, there's quite a bit of debris. You can't really see it in here inside the teeth. And this one in the number 4 is actually starting to break down on the rubber. I just ordered some replacements of these and they're not in yet, so we're going to go with this one or not put anything in that number 4 spot for a little while. But to clean these guys and inside those teeth, I just use a very, very soft toothbrush, very soft, and 99% isopropyl alcohol, and I just gently clean out the debris from inside there. We're going to get those rollers cleaned up and then we'll move on. Alright, so I know this is not the way a lot of people are going to do this, but rather than use a can of air to blast that stuff off and potentially get it farther into the Hall unit, I put the little attachment on my little stick vacuum, and that's about it. I just just the outside, try to avoid blasting that stuff into the unit. Get as much of that off of there as we can. Alright, so that actually got quite a bit of that off of there. This one, there's some stuck in there. I'm just going to probably brush that off with that toothbrush and alcohol. And then we'll give it a glance and see if there's anything inside. But I don't see any issues with the Hall units themselves. All of these bearings roll smoothly. Just from looking from the underside, I don't see any debris in any of these gears. We just did a deep clean on those a couple weeks ago, so I'm glad that I don't have to take those apart. I'd rather not. But like I said, this little bit of debris in here, I'm going to probably brush out if I can. I'll try the vacuum with both hands and see if I can get any more out of there. Alright, turning that vacuum on high did the trick. I gently used that brush to kind of agitate the stuff out of there, and all of those are really nice and debris free now. Now on to turning this over I'm not going to replace these tubes because, like I said, I just did. I gave them a quick look and I don't see any kind of deterioration on them. But I'm going to disassemble them, take them off of the hub unit. We're going to take this hub unit apart next and take a look at inside of it. I have never opened this one up before. I've opened the other one up, and I know that they get quite debris filled inside, so I'm hoping that's all it is. So I will take that apart and get to you shortly. Okay, so the Bowden tubes are all taken off of here. The first step in taking this off is to trace the wires down and gently pull those out. There's one for the motor, and then release these hull clips. So those are all pulled free. Now there's 4 screws holding this thing into the unit. 2, and then 3 and 4. Now these are on here, and there's a little rubber gasket in between those. So when you put this back on, I'll show you, you don't want to over tighten this. So I'll show you what that looks like when we get it apart. We're going to take those 4 screws off first. Alright, so the 4 screws are out, and you can see these little rubber gasket, shock absorber looking things in here. It's important not to over tighten those. You know, it's kind of a pain to put this back on when it's done. They have to seat on those posts perfectly. So we've got this off, and we're going to take it apart and take a look. Okay, so first thing is taking the motor off. I got this first screw here taken off. The second one's a little more tricky. You got to find out how to do that. So you got to stick your wrench through the hole on this side, all the way through and into here, and unscrew that. You got to be careful when you move this wire back so you don't bust it. And it's kind of on an angle, so be careful not to strip that. Do that really carefully, and that's how you got to get that one off and back on. Okay, so the motor is now off, and now we're going to take off this gear housing. This piece right here, this top plate, has a really big tendency to break. The last one I opened up, this was completely disintegrated before I even touched it. My AMS was still under warranty, so they don't sell this part. You can print it. There's files for it all over Maker's World. You can print this part and replace it. But when I let them know that mine had broken on a unit that was still under warranty, they actually sent me an entire hub unit, which was a really pleasant surprise at $60. So for a part that you can print. I didn't expect that, but hey, I'm not going to send it back either. So these 4 screws, we're going to take this off and get to the next step. Okay, so I got this housing cover taken off, and before I even take it apart, I can see that there's a good amount of debris in there, and the gear is kind of gummed up. So we're going to brush that off. I'm going to clean that off with a little isopropyl alcohol, and then we're going to continue the next step. We're going to keep taking this thing apart until we get it all apart and clean. Okay, on to the last step of disassembly. First, you want to take off this tube release. It just pops right off. Again, if this breaks, there's dozens of files on Maker's World to print that. I haven't had to yet, but I've seen them out there. We're going to turn this thing back over, and there's 6 screws in there holding the pieces together. Now when you take this apart, be careful. There's not much holding these in. Just when they seal together, those are going to fall out, but it's no big deal. You're going to take them out anyway. So I've already checked all those. They still have really good movement. I don't need to replace those. They do not sell those parts individually. You can get them on Amazon, or you can take apart one of the ones for the back of the machine. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart on what they're called. Okay, screws are out, and now we're going to take the 2 halves apart. Sometimes this one doesn't. Sometimes it needs a little coaxing. And oh my, yeah, there is quite a bit of debris in there. So that's probably going to be the problem. Look at that big chunk of right by the motor gear. All right, yeah, that's pretty gross. I have a feeling that is going to solve my issues. There's the top half. Look at all that built up junk in there. All right, we're going to clean that off. We're going to take all those off, clean them off, and then I'll get it all back together. Okay, so I've got the top half cleaned off. The bottom half, I've got I aired it off. Now I'm just going to take like I said, the really soft toothbrush with isopropyl alcohol in it. I'm just gonna kind of just rub any residue or debris off of there, being really careful not to lift any of these magnets up. These magnets have to be in the down position. Make sure they're all springing really well. Again, I'm just gonna give this a little brush to get any residue and anything that the air can didn't take off, and that's pretty much about it. All right, so I've got all the parts all cleaned off, all sorted out and separated. I'm going to put this thing back together and get it back in the machine. All right, the two halves are reassembled, and before I go any further, I want to just make sure that I've got all these in tight and they all still move freely. Then I'm going to pop the release latch off and then put the motor back on. Okay, the gear housing is back on, and remember, when you tighten these screws, don't over tighten them. This top plate tends to be extremely brittle, apparently. I've had one break, and I've heard of others, lots of others. Putting the motor back on, you're going to line this up right so you get the screws in there right. This top hole lines up with this pin. Lock it into that pin so the other two screw holes are lined up right. And then I will get that all screwed in and put together. So when you're reassembling the motor, I found it easy because this screw will not feed through the holes, just the wrench. I found it easy to just use some tweezers, line it up there and give it a start. And then you can get that wrench in there and tighten it up. Okay, so it is reassembled and back in the AMS unit. When you put this back in here, remember the rubber gaskets, you don't want to over tighten it. I have found that it is incredibly easier when you start with this one first, because this is kind of a bear to get into. And again, I start with this one and then go counterclockwise, and it all seems to fall into place there. When you screw these down, I screw them until I feel a little resistance from the rubber, and then like a quarter to a half turn further, and that's about it. I don't want to over tighten those. So last step is we're going to get the whole AMS reassembled, and we'll get something printing and see if we solved our problem. The wires are all reconnected. When you reconnect these, remember the single wire to the motor goes to the single spot up here, and the two from the hub get clipped around here, clipped in here, and then there's two sizes, so that's pretty simple to figure out. And make sure that your tubes go over the wires. That's going to be a lot easier for you to change those when you need to, and those will definitely need to be changed. All right, it is all done, reassembled. We're going to get it back in the box and give it a try. All right, so we are 23 hours into this 60-hour print, and I have yet to have any issues, so I think our problem was resolved. This is a little note for me. As I said, this print is going to end up being 10 colors, and with 2 AMS, I'm going to be short 2. So after these two are done here, I'm going to switch, and I don't want to put the wrong colors in the wrong slot after about 40 hours. So I just left myself a note what needs to get switched. So I highly recommend that, because I have made the mistake of putting the wrong colors in on a 9-color print. So, all right, everyone have a great day. It looks like our problem solved. Another AMS tragedy averted.